And our very first guest this morning did not allow her past, the trauma that she went through as a child, to reduce her. Instead, she emerged, she overcame, and she's here today owning her story. Yani, I'm excited about this one. We've met before, and she was preparing me for this day today. And today was like, Mikalu siniangaleni so macho zako, sijui za kufanya sijui ni nini. What do I do? Pastor Yulene, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I am trying to put a straight face. I have been warned.
Yes, tightly.
And I take the warning. I take the warning. I will do my best.
Yes.
Kindly introduce yourself to the people. I know I said Pastor Yulene, but
Yes.
who is Pastor Yulene?
Wow, I'm Pastor Yulene Murando. Pastor Yulene, I'm a president of Wellsprings of Life International. This is a ministry for men and women of God, just knowing the Word of God and the Word of God setting you free.
Okay.
Yes.
And you did not wake up and become Pastor Yulene. Your story starts from when you were a little girl.
Yes.
And you were set up to fail in one way or the other, or to give up in life, because you did not choose the things that happened to you.
Yes.
But they did.
Yes,
But
they
you
did.
chose to overcome them.
Yes.
Let's go back to that little Kayulin before pastor and everything. I mean, what did they used to call you when you were little?
Some of my brothers used to chongoa me a gizzard. Because I used to have a big kitovu.
Gizzard.
Imagine a gizzard.
Gizzard ile
and they
basi.
even made a song.
Oh
So
my
I used
goodness.
to feel, why? It's terrible, but it is well.
Okay, but were you a playful kid? Were you quiet? You know, before everything that happened to you.
Now, what happened is I was a second last born. So, and I'm a girl in the middle of boys. So what was happening is, it was tough because
Yeah.
of these boys. So when the boys are in the middle of boys, you don't have actually time to know who you are or what you are, because the girls were way in front.
Okay.
The ones who are big. So you're here, you can't pretend to be like a baby, you can't pretend what. So you have to
Sort of like
unakazana na
toughen
how.
up, yeah.
Yes, you have to toughen up. You climb on trees, you do what. So my life was being stern and being harsh in a way, being mkali.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you were forced to. I mean,
Yes,
if you
you're
have to
forced
fight
to.
with the boys,
Yes.
lazima ukue up to par.
Yes, and
But
that
then
time
something happened to you when you
Yes.
were little, and it sort of like set a trend to the things that followed
Yes,
all
true.
in life.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I would like to talk about
Kindly.
it. When I was 5 years old, some things happened to me that I didn't know what they were. You know, at first you're a 5-year-old, a playful child. Then you have some two brothers of yours who are fondling with you, touching you in ways that are
Inappropriately.
not, you're feeling pain, but you're not understanding because this is someone you love, it's your brother. So you just continue with life and knowing this is how it goes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have some sisters there who are doing things to you. By the time you're realizing right now, you're like, was it lesbianism? Was it what? Because as you're growing is when you're trying to realize, oh my God, what was this?
Yeah.
Then it affects you, it takes you, when you're going to school, you want to try out what has
What
been
you do
happening.
at home, or what has happened to
Yes.
you at home,
Yes.
you want to transfer that to school.
To
And at
school.
this point, your parents, were they there? Did you ever tell anybody? Did you, like your mother or father?
Now, you know, when you're having your brothers here, they're giving you sweets, they're giving you nice things. So you're like, this is something nice because they're not threatening you. You know, when you're a child and you're in your house, no one is threatening you, you're the baby there.
Yeah.
So, and you don't know. At 5-year-old, you don't know what
You
is
don't know
happening. You
exactly
just
what
think,
is
"Ah,
happening
this
to
is
you."
something. Don't worry, don't say these things. You know, this part of life, we love you, and there's nothing we are doing, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. So, but as you're growing, you're like, even when I'm introducing this thing to school, you're introducing to other kids in school, it doesn't look right because you're doing it when people are not there.
Yes.
So you're feeling, okay, this thing is not right. It is right. You're doing it under tables, under what?
Yeah.
Now, what happens is when you get infections.
At 5 years.
Yes, you start getting urinal infections. So when I started getting infections, my mom was like, how can you get an infection there? What is going on? My mother was a teacher, my father was a headmaster.
Okay.
So,
So
they're harsh.
discipline is also like,
Discipline, iko. So they're like, how? What is happening there? So when I went to hospital, they start telling my mom, there's someone touching her. There's something happening to her. So she comes, asks me, Yulene, what is happening? Are you someone touching? I'm like, no. My brothers are like, you know?
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
like,
say.
no, it's a neighbor. Which one? So I take them round. You start lying.
At a very young age.
Yes, you start.
And at this point, you're covering for them because probably, even subconsciously, you know whatever is happening
Yes,
is
now you're
not
it's
right.
not right. Yes,
Yeah.
it's not right.
Yeah.
So you're growing with this thing. It's not right, but you're seeing it's right. You're lying. You're lying about another boy somewhere.
Yeah.
So my parents go to that house. That boy is like, I've never even seen her. I don't know her. But because you're a headmaster's child, no way, she's not lying. It is true. So you put someone else in jeopardy that is not there. So we move on from that stage. I go to another primary school. I'm taken from nursery to another primary school. Going there, you're still continuing with those manners. But now the teachers got it because my mother was a teacher there in that school.
Okay.
So my mother started noticing, what is this? But she never hakufuatilia. So she was like, these are just bad manners for kids.
For kids, yeah.
So
And
we
you know, even as a parent, you wouldn't imagine that your own daughter is
Exactly.
getting it from home.
Yes.
You wouldn't think your other kids are the ones who are actually introducing this to your child.
Yes. It was tough because as a child, you don't know where you are. You're
Yeah.
just in a sphere that is black. And I used to be a child who was very temperamental.
Okay.
I would be very temperamental to them. They would even make jokes. I'm not laughing. I'll just go, ha ha.
And that's it.
Ha ha. And no one noticed what was happening until one time a brother of mine told me, why are you always laughing? Ha ha. And I'm looking at him, you're asking me, and you know. Now you
Yeah.
start being aware because you're growing, you're
these things
becoming
that are
11
happening to you.
years.
All this happened when you are in your lower primary.
Yes, 5 years, nursery.
Nursery.
Yes.
And then you move schools.
Now I moved schools.
And then you start to notice that this is wrong.
Yes,
that
this
this
is
is
wrong.
happening, and you start reacting.
Yes, you start reacting.
To-
You're annoyed to people.
Yes.
Just aimlessly.
Goodness. We are taking a very short commercial break right here at Full Circle with Mukali. Pastor Yulene is still going to be in studio. We're talking about owning your story and overcoming your childhood trauma. And you can share your stories with us on 111 444 111, words of encouragement. And if you're seeking guidance in whatever it is that you're going through, and you can send that on Facebook, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook, Switch TV KE on Instagram. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. I'm talking to Pastor Yulene, and we are owning our story this morning. Whatever story that it is that you have gone through, overcoming that childhood trauma, we are owning it this morning. And Pastor Yulene, we've gotten to 11 years old. You've already started resenting your brothers and sisters, and you're not a happy child anymore.
Yes.
You are a ha-ha. The end child, and now they are
Yes.
concerned, and
Yes.
at this point they're pretending they do not know why. Mbona may change attitude. They forget that you've grown.
Yes. And you know what is happening,
Yes.
and you're an adolescent.
Yes.
So you're trying to fight. And all this now brought about masturbation, which I didn't know because I was trying to also
Understand.
understand myself and know that I was being touched here. So when I was being touched here, even me, I can touch myself. What is this happening? And that time, home science, they're actually teaching these things. So, and that is the time during 11 years old, I would start even looking at boys. Now you want them, you're even the one who's ushering.
Yeah.
You're ushering this thing of, I like you, I want you. You don't know what your body wants. Your body is actually taking you and making you a sexually active child.
Yeah.
So we grow beyond that, 11, 12, 13, it's masturbation time, and you're wondering who you are, and you're looking at them wondering, that was not right.
Yeah.
Do they know that? Or is it me who knows? No, you can't talk to your mother, you can't talk to your father, because our parents are those kind of, they're teachers.
Yep.
A headmaster, not a joke.
Not a joke.
Not a joke. And my mother used to be that person who canes, my father canes, you'd say such things.
Disciplinarians.
Hapo sasa.
Yeah. So at this point, now you're the one who is welcoming these thoughts.
Yes.
You want to explore more. You want to be in control.
Yes. No one should disturb me. I should know this. So you're hiding, doing funny things with towels, with what you're trying. you're having infections, you're not saying, you're doing what, such things are happening to you. So I reached 14 years. I was in another primary school until when I was 13 years school. It was in Eastlands. And you know, Eastlands background, people know a lot.
Yes.
And do a lot. So those things were welcoming there. But now when I moved to Langata, we moved to Langata as a family, we came to another school whereby now it's different. It's English, it's what? That time I was full of Kiswahili. Uoboho.
Mlenda bougie.
So you're trying to cope. Even classwork was not good.
Okay.
Then when I reached this primary school of English, that teacher just didn't like me, and I didn't like her too. So by the time I didn't like her, all the time at home I would talk about this person. So because my dad was a headmaster, he got it very fast and went and talked to her and told her, she likes you, but she's just saying she doesn't like you. So when she started loving me, I started being loved and I started working well. Then what happens? Another teacher comes and he starts fondling with me in that school.
This is an adult now.
Now this is an adult, but now you're in love.
You were in love with him.
You're feeling like you're in love with him, and he was a handsome teacher.
Yes.
Everyone was talking about him.
Yes.
So najipeleka, because he was not even a teacher of ours at all. So I used to take myself, and these things would happen, and you're just feeling, this one even knows how to touch better, and what? That time you're a child, you're not understanding.
Yeah.
Then there's this boy in class you're looking and liking, and you're like, okay, this one is not giving me what I want, but this one is giving me. So my emotions are over there. You're going home, you're wondering, this is not right. Things are condemning you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're like, what is happening? Since I was 5 years, this is how people behave. This is how people behave.
Yeah.
So when I went to secondary, now I'm not doing these things.
So did this end with the teacher after you moved from primary school?
Yes, that ended with the teacher. When I entered Form 1, I became now this serious person. Now I changed. It's like you're playing around with yourself.
Yes.
Yes. You're playing around with yourself, your psychology. So in Form 1, I'm just this girl who doesn't like. I used to tell people I don't hug people. So I was not hugging people.
Did you go to a boarding school?
Yes. I was in Pangani. I was not hugging people. So I was just myself, a harsh person, a what? Like that, you just move on. When fourth form cleared and I was in church now, I was a worshipper in a church, I saw another handsome guy. I'm like, what? Hey? It's like you have like a spirit in you.
Yeah.
Like a Jezebel spirit is working.
So you were able to repress this the whole 4 years?
Yes. Nicely, and not doing anything in secondary school. In secondary school, I did not do anything. Interesting part of it, because I was like, my name. I need to keep my name. You're telling yourself you need to keep your name and you need to be good and what? This is secondary school.
Yes.
So I did it well after finishing Form 4. I get this man, I put myself there, I get pregnant.
You're in church.
Yes.
You're a worshipper now.
Yes.
Okay.
And now in that church, it was like, my dad were elders. What? A child of an elder did this? Now then they took the opportunity of making my dad look like a nobody. So we had to stand in front of church and say, we have sinned.
Yes.
Against people.
And God.
And God.
Yes.
So we stood there and we talked and said, yes, we have sinned and all that. And we moved forward. But this guy was being told, I am Jezebel. So that we don't be together. And he was given another girl. So I started walking alone. I'm like, and I was in love
with this guy.
Yes, properly.
Did he listen to the elders? Did you get it? So he did.
Yes.
So this was cut off. You were left with your own feelings to deal with.
Alone.
Okay.
So by the time I'm going down this journey, getting a child, he would come on and off in my life to maybe sleep with me, to do what, and move off, show me madarao, all that set. So I'm looking at him. That time I'm harsh. I would take things, throw on him. Now you know I'm retaliating on the things that used to happen to me, but you don't know.
Yeah.
So you're just feeling it yourself. So by the time now my baby is growing, my baby is around 8 months, some sisters of mine come and tell my dad, there's a job that is somewhere for this girl.
Your sisters?
Yes.
Blood sisters?
Yes.
Okay.
So they say there's a job that for this girl that she can go and get somewhere. Little did I know that I'm being taken somewhere or was going to be sold.
Sold? I've just gone to Joseph of the Bible.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Your sisters sold you?
Yes. For 60,000 shillings.
No way.
Yes.
60K.
Only.
Okay, we're not saying that they should have sold you for a higher price, you know. But were they in need of money? Why did they feel the need to sell you?
I believe so. Maybe they were them in need of money. But me, I was going for a job. So I'm given these people. They're not Kenyans. I follow them. I'm taken to a hotel somewhere in Parklands, locked in. And I'm done for all the things you can think about in this life with different people.
You are violated.
Properly now.
Stop saying properly. Oh my goodness.
Yes. You don't know who is who. You reach a point you don't care because you've been locked in a hotel. And it's a good hotel, very good hotel, with bread only and water and juice. And don't know who these are.
How many days were you in there for?
2 weeks.
2.
That time my parents are asking wherever they're asking.
Your child?
She's working.
What about your baby?
Now, you know, in Luya culture, when your baby, when I had gone, my baby started doing, the legs, they were tough, but now they became wobbly. So in our culture, they feel like the mother where she is not good. It's not a good place. There's something wrong.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
there's something wrong. So my dad started asking, where is she? You call my sisters, where they're telling him, we don't know where she is. You know, she just likes going. And you know, I used to like going.
Yeah.
So they're like, so my dad is like, no, I'm just feeling no. So after 2 weeks, something happened. I just forced myself out. One of them came. I forced myself out. There was a police near there, so they saw us struggling on the aisle at least. So they came and said, unajaribu kuchezea Mkenya wetu. Where? So he was told, no, I've bought her. She is mine. That's the time I had. I didn't know. So that's the time I had. I'm like, you bought me? What do you mean? It was a job. What's happening? No, I bought you. So I was taken away, given fare. In the morning, I left with a cab and I went to an elder sister of mine who is a saved one. So she was like, we've been looking for you. Where have you been? So I explained to her what had happened. So all these things that when they're happening, after I went back home and my dad just told me, tell me about it. So I told him point blank. And he was like, what?
My God.
What?
That is so heartbreaking.
So me, when I'm thinking of how it was when I was 5 years.
Yes.
I'm growing, I'm like,
Yeah.
what
Not
is
even
happening?
that, like it's happening within the family setup.
Exactly.
It's supposed to, your siblings are supposed to protect you, considering that you were younger than
Yes. Yes.
them. 60,000. Did you ever confront them? Sorry, I'm just...
Yes. I didn't confront. I used to just look at them. Now I just used to look at them. My dad just told them, don't come to my house again. You should have given me something. You'd have come and told me this story. You know, parents are like, you should have, even if you have just said she's getting married or something.
Yes, they say they don't know. You would have died.
Now what happened to me, I got out of that, I got gonorrhea, syphilis. I didn't know what was happening. Then I was pregnant.
For somebody you do not know. For
I don't know even who. So now, by that time, I go to hospital, I found out I'm pregnant. I'm like, what? Then you have gonorrhea and syphilis. What is this? You're going through things you don't understand. So I just said, I don't want this pregnancy. Yeah. I just went to a hospital, a famous person during that time. I went and it was removed. So that's why I don't judge people who remove pregnancies whereby you're all over them. I was like, I had to. Whose is it for?
Were you getting any kind of help in terms of therapy, counseling?
No. I was counseling myself.
That doesn't work, Pastor.
Yes. But at that time, you don't have anyone to talk to, and you don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Because you're looking like there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
Is it that, why was I born?
Why you attracting all these negative things
exactly.
to you?
Yes.
And being your parents being church elders and everything, did the church come in? Did anything, intervention?
Now do you know that time the church had thrown me away? Remember?
Jezebel.
You've done Bathsheba. Uko church. So after that, I entered into drinking, smoking marijuana. I want to forget. I would go to a pub. A man comes towards me. We sit down. I start crying. When I'm high, I cry. So these people just wonder what's wrong with this girl.
Yeah.
Years and years, I drinking marijuana. Then I started being a stone-faced person. Now, no more crying.
You just
have to deal with it.
Smoke up.
Yeah.
And
then a man to me was, I need to sit on this man. That was what it is. A man, I have to sit on them. So I started earning my own money, do my thing. You tell me you don't have money, I have it. Yes. I make my hair, I do my things. So I was that kind of girl. What? I have my own, I need to have money. So that I even take girls out and what? Yeah, that was giving me, making me feel good.
Yes.
But I was dying inside. Yes.
You felt like you were in control on the outside.
Yes.
But really you
so
were
you're
not.
pretending.
Yeah.
You're going places when you only have money, you're spending too much. You do business, you spend all of it, you're just trying to show people I'm okay. But inside, you are dying. Every day, you are dying. When you're drunk, you're dying. You're just feeling like you don't need to be here. And then you're looking at your brothers and your sisters, you're living like
Nothing
you don't know
happened.
this thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
At what point, Pastor Yulin, did you face your inner self?
There was this time I talked. And I talked to my mom. She's late. I sat her down and told her this was happening to me. She was just so, under my roof. All this. Then I told her this, and she told me, and she's a teacher, so she was a good psychologist. So I was taken to a place whereby I started undergoing the deliverance classes and all that, church setup. I started understanding what it is. I started undergoing mentorship with people. They really helped me. You get people who are like you or even worse than you. And I started going out of it. Now you start even getting people approaching you immediately. Hey, God is interesting. He brings ladies, teenagers, coming near you, and you start telling them, take care, don't do this, it's not right to do this. Someone would come and tell you, I want to remove pregnancy. You're like, that's a gift. I regret till today because I'm like, that baby of mine would have been 22 years old.
Yeah.
Yes. So
but then there's also the thing of, would you have been able to look at the child the same?
Exactly.
So because you're also dealing with so much at that point.
Yes. But you regret because of the abortion. Now that you know the truth, you're like, why? Why? The child was innocent. Why? Yes.
So now you go through the deliverance classes, you talk to people. Did you get to a point where you confronted your sisters and brothers to their faces as your healing process?
Now that is a tough one. Because you look at them, you're not believing, they laugh with you, laugh with them, you're looking at them and of what? You're feeling like you want them to say. So situations would come in whereby I would just be overreacting, even though we're in meetings and they're there. I would just be overreacting. You're in WhatsApp, so you're just overreacting. You block. You come up, what is happening?
Yeah.
So I just took my time and started just telling them, I forgive you. I forgive you. Because this is salvation. This is Christ. Christ went through it.
Yeah.
No one helped him. That's a painful part of it. He had to just tell God, God, remove this cup of suffering from me. It reaches a point whereby you have to just tell God, remove this cup of suffering from me. And it's you to accept it first. You have to accept yourself the way you are, what has happened to you. Then now, from that point is when you start now moving ahead.
Yeah.
And that's why now you see God starts bringing ministry. You're seeing ministries in you. People are coming to you. You're helping them. You're having... Now, I had to deal with lies. What happened to me, the abortion. Now you lie. It takes you to point of you're taking bangi. Now you start being unruly, maybe even stealing phones here and there. I did a lot of things. I was in... to sell. I used to have a nutty boyfriend. Yeah, like someone was, my parents are like, what? This girl is getting spoiled.
But it's just because probably you didn't even understand. You were just living life.
Yes.
Venye ilikuwa inakuja.
Exactly.
Pastor Yulin, when was she birthed, the pastor?
Hey, Pastor Yulin was birthed from an amazing woman of God church. She's called Terry Gobanga. Yes. Terry Gobanga and Tony Gobanga.
Yeah.
So they saw what was in me and they started... I'm a worshiper too, so I do a lot of worship, and she also does worship. So you attract your own, I think.
Yeah.
When something happens, you attract. And when I heard her story, I was like, what? So I was moved. I came next to her. I came to her church. She made me a leader of the women. So that time now you start speaking out. Once you speak out, you get your healing. Once you speak out, you get your healing. That's the time I went to theology school. Started discovering whom I was, and that's when Wellspring of Life was birthed. And as for now, we are enjoying, because everyone who comes, you're taking them with joy, with love, teaching them the path, teaching them the word of God.
Yeah.
Just the way you have mentioned when I started talking, you said, I saw Joseph.
Yeah.
So now you're relating the stories that are going through with the word of God, whereby it sets people free.
Yes.
Yes.
And you talk to many young people, and
Yes.
what is the one thing or the one message that you have for them today?
Yes.
Going through it or not going through it, or probably being in a place where they're not comfortable to even talk about what it is that they're going through.
Yes. What I would tell young people is, as you're talking to yourself in that sphere you are in, that you're influencing, it's good to know that there is a God. There is God.
Yeah.
So when there's this God, you can talk to this person. When you talk to God, there are ways that will open whereby you'll find even God bringing people towards you with the same problem you have. That's the time when you're talking to them, you're like, hey, am I correcting myself? What is happening? Learn to talk. Learn to get out of the cocoon. Don't let it eat you up. It will make you a bad person in society. You'll start having other funny behaviors in society.
You become unruly.
Yes, you become unruly. You become a person who is not tolerated by people because people don't want you. And you have to live in this society and be an influence. And you know, God died for us to feel good in this earth.
Whole.
Yes.
In every aspect
Yes,
of the
and
word.
whatever you go through a testimony, it is a testimony, it's a test. You undergo tests to become a testimony.
Yeah.
You give God your ashes, he makes you beautiful with time.
Goodness. And what projects do you have right now for, and how can people, reach you? Is there classes that you undertake with the little young girls or young boys as well?
Yes, okay. We do a lot of, we are a group of men and women of God, pastors, whom I'm working with. They have directors under me. So we do a lot of counseling. Any type of counseling, we have all of us. I don't do things myself. Everybody has gifts, and we are growing our giftings and our talents. So we are there for you. You can get us. My number is 0791 088764. I'm on Facebook, Yulin Murando. You can get me. I'm there. Talk to me anytime. Nico, nasemanga tuko 24 hours. Do US 10 hours in you. So it's 24 hours.
It is 24 hours from whatever part of the world that they may want to reach you. What is the one thing, as we come to the end, I think I keep having flashes of, what is the one thing that you would say young people are struggling with at this day and age? Because you speak to them a lot. What is the one thing that we are struggling with?
Young people are struggling with not understanding who they are and what they're supposed to become. With who they are. They don't know who they are, so they're just there. You see, like what I was. I am there pretending. Secondary, I'm another person. Primary, I'm another person. When I'm young, I'm another person. So we are there trying to lie to ourselves who we are, camouflaging ourselves, actually. That's what I've seen with the ones I've been talking to, even grown-ups. Because you enter into marriage, let's say if you enter into marriage with the way I was, if I didn't have help, you become another person in marriage. You're becoming an unruly person. Your husband is wondering, hey,
what happened?
What is wrong with this? And you just say something small, like you're flaring.
Yes.
And even your names. In African society, we have interesting names. We don't know whom we were called after. Like when I came to find out whom was called after, she was an unruly person. So you see?
Thank you so much. We need to know. We need to know who we are, what we are about, and why we are in this earth, finding our purpose and everything. Pastor Yulin, you have been such a blessing this morning. Thank you for owning your story, and thank you for sharing that and encouraging people out there who are struggling. And most of the times, like you said, you keep quiet for so long. You don't know who to tell, what to say, and whom to say it to.
True.
But we have you today.
Amen.
People can call you. Do you want to say that number again?
Karibu.
Your number
0791 088 764.
Asante sana.
Asante.
This is Full Circle with Mukali. We're going to be taking a very short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have some spoken word artists. And if you think as a woman, you deserve to be the leader in your family, please tell us why. If you're a man and you feel like that space has been taken away from you, please tell us why. 111 444 111. It's just a shilling on our SMS line. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. We'll be talking about all of that in the next few. We'll be right back.